Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. I am bringing you today my first Clionadh order for eyeshadows. Clionadh Cosmetics is out of Canada. If you're completely not familiar with them, like I wasn't a year or so ago, they are supposed to have some of the best multi-chromes available. And as I've been looking for a couple of years at all these different multi-chromes because I wanted some beautiful ones that I'd see pictures of on Instagram or the internet, and nobody was giving them to me in my, subscription boxes that I keep getting, so I had to go out and actually look into purchasing some for myself. These from Clionadh range price-wise from about $8.97 a piece to $18.69 a piece, which is probably what's kept me from ordering these earlier because I am cheap. So when I decided I was going to do it, I put in a lot of time and studied their website and looked at all kinds of other YouTube videos and Instagram posts and was looking at all these swatches, and I kind of narrowed it down to because I wanted to keep it under $100 because, I'm just can't be spending hundreds of dollars on makeup is what I was, feeling. But it's been years that I was wanting some. So wanted to get exactly the right set of colors. Only the thing that happens is then sometimes the website will be out of the color that I had narrowed it down to. So then it was like I narrowed it down to 8 and then saw which ones they didn't have so I could get 6. The other thing that was happening at the same time is that they had their new Halloween palettes available, which you got 9 of the colors for like $118. But I really ended up deciding I would rather have 6 colors that I chose for $100 than 9 that they were choosing for me for $118. So that's why I ended up doing the 6 that I chose for myself. I am going to, during this video, probably do like a split screen so that I can show you, because I took swatches and I took finger swatches and arm swatches, and then I put each of the colors on my eyes and did swatches that way, and then walked through my house so that you could see the shifting of the colors, because that's what's so intense and crazy about these colors. I'll give you a little sneak at them. These are the 6 that I chose. And see, I'm glad I did the videos because I don't think you can really even see the shiftiness there all that much. The first one that I'm going to show you is called Oculus. This is where I should split screen it, and over here you can be watching me shift the palette around like this, and then the finger swatches, and then the arm swatches, and then the eyeshadow swatches. Now I do know my eyes were starting to get sore, I felt like, so I believe all of them I tried to do on both eyes, except when it was getting down to like my last couple, I did this Oculus just on one of the eyes and then a different color at the same time on the other one. This was one of the $18.69 colors. It is so pretty and shifty. It is also, though, the one that I really wonder how often I will get use out of this one, just because all of the shifts from the blue to green to purple are so deep and dark, and I just don't wear that dark, bright colors that often. But it was too beautiful to not get. This one is also the only color that I did have one somewhat similar to out of my Gnome Chrome Halloween eyeshadow palette from Sugar Drizzle from last year, because it has this shifty Everlasting Gnome, which it's going to be probably a little hard for me to show you exactly, but it's a green to purple shift. This one has more because it also has kind of a teal blue that goes with it. And what I was most surprised about is just that the one swatch of these Clionadh ones took me more like about 4 to build up with the Sugar Drizzle, which I also think is a really nice brand and has nice colors. The first swatch of it, which hopefully will be over here also, was so much lighter than this. And I did about 4 swatches then to kind of build it up to about the same intensity. And this one still honestly was prettier in my opinion. It definitely, which is one of the biggest reasons that I did want to finally try these, is because everybody's talked about how sparkly, shifty, jeweled, beautiful, and power punching pigmented they are. And it's hard to know that that's true, I guess, without trying it. It's also, you know, I've done swatches and I put it on my eyes, and I feel like you just barely have to dip into the shadow. Like, the pan is still completely full, you know? It's not like I've used it for these swatches a few times that I'm, you know, anywhere near hitting pan. It looks completely full still. But I better get on to the next color or you're not going to get to see all of them. This next one is called Coat of Arms. This one is a hybrid multichrome, which actually makes it then one of the $8.97 ones instead of the jeweled multichromes that the last one was. This one still had like just a really pretty shift to it, but I felt like it was, I could only really pick up like maybe 2, you know, colors, like a red and a blue. But I guess then if you get down into it, it's like, well, the red had, you know, a red bricky look and then like a red violet look, you know, so there is more than just 2 shifts. And this one, let me tell you that, so when I do the eye swatches, what I did was use my finger on my lid in every swatch, and then I used a brush for on my top part. What's that thing called? I don't know. That top part. I used a brush so that you can kind of see the difference in using my finger versus a brush. Usually I feel like with just shimmers in general, I like to use my finger. I just think it packs on easier and prettier. With these, I didn't need to do that. A brush worked just as good as my finger, and I didn't wet them, the brushes, at all, which I would think probably could make them even more intense. With my finger, I just used my finger. With the brush, I just used a dry brush. But this one, the Coat of Arms, is the only one that I could tell a difference between my finger and a brush. So you can see on it, when I did it on my lid, that my lid is buffed out looking more than my lid. My top lid is more buffed out looking where I used the brush than my bottom lid where I used my finger for the Coat of Arms. But that was the only one that I could really tell that difference in. This next color is Flame Blown, which is another one of the jeweled multichrome eyeshadows, which cost $18.69. I actually called it the wrong name during the video, which is why now I'm kind of doing a voiceover. I also, though, talked too much when I wasn't showing products because I kind of ran out of things to tell you about this. So I'm just going to sit here apparently in silence, staring off, so that I still have time to show you the swatches, because even these swatches, though I've sped them up to like 3 or 4 times speed, I took such long videos of the swatches because they're so pretty that I want to share it with you. These are out of Toronto, Canada, so it took a little bit to get them to me, but not as long as I was almost afraid that it would, because people had talked about how long it takes. So today I believe is October 16th, and I ordered them on October 4th. So that's how long it takes. next one is Smolder. I think this one is going to be my favorite of all of the ones that I got, because I also think it's kind of the most rainbow shifty of them. So it definitely has like a pink and a purple that I see just kind of straight on most. But then it definitely shifts into like a gold and green color that to me make it so much more wearable. And it is what I have mostly on my eye right now, from about here on over on the bottom lid part. But this one, see, I'm so glad I did the shifting in different camera light and walkthrough, because even as I'm turning this, you're not seeing it on this side. So I'm definitely going to need to, you know, have that over there, because I see such a forest green and a lime green and a golden copper orange. Yeah, this one is definitely my favorite. I don't know, sometimes don't people use a mirror? Again, I know I don't have to, because I'm going to show it to you on the side. I kind of wish that I could have you see it here too. This next one is called Monarch, and this one is a vibrant multichrome eyeshadow from them. This one was $13.83. This one, when I first looked at it, I was thinking, oh, I probably could have saved my money, and this one seemed as close to other just colors that look like this coral that I already have. And even in the swatch of it, I didn't feel like it looked that much different. When I did put it, which you'll see, on my whole eye, that's when I felt like I could definitely pick up way more of the colors. It needed like, not just like a straight line going across my arm or on my finger. It needed the whole eyeball and curve and angle to it. And then it's where I could really pick up on like gold and yellow and coral. And I think that I will get a lot of use out of this one, because I can just see it becoming the color that I want to add to all of my looks. Like that I'll do a full, you know, eye makeup, and I'll think, you know what? I'll just add this right across my lid as well. And I think that, yeah, it's very pretty and very much of a me color that I will wear a lot. Because I'm using my window for lighting, I feel like I've got all these spots on me, but I guess that's what happens when I use a window. There's trees and houses over there. The next color that I have is Chandelier. This one is a glitter multichrome. It's not real glitter, but this one does feel more powdery when you touch it than the other ones did. All the other ones just felt kind of like silk. This one has more of a powdery feel. This one, I do swatches for you with it just plain like I did all the others, but then I also put it on a black base so that you could kind of see if it brought out anything else, because I wanted to see if it would bring out anything else, because I didn't feel like it shifted very much just plain. So I felt like it also seemed like the kind of thing that, you know, after you do your eye look, adding it would make it, you know, pick up on different colors. And then in the, when I'm putting it on the eye, I also use a black base on one of my eyelids and just nothing on the other one, so that you can see the difference it does in those two. I'm not sure that I remembered to tell you that the Monarch then and the Chandelier are the other two colors that I have on with this eye look. So the Chandelier I just have in the very inner corner, and then the Monarch on the first inside third, and then the Smolder on the rest of it. And then I just kind of blended it into this color Grunge that is in my Blend Bunny Surge palette. And then I blended and kind of buffed that one out with the Natasha Denona one that I use all the time, that I have said I just think that was such a beautiful color for me to use to blend everything. It was in the Jubilee palette. It was like the neutrally brown pink that was in that palette. With the order, they also sent one of their stickers with their stained glass looking logo and a temporary tattoo, which I just think, you know, that's kind of a cute stuff that they sent in. And a thank you for your order from Maggie and Lee, or Maggie and Lee. I do know that it's like a sister team that work together, and dang, they do a good job. So all in all, my eyeshadows had totaled $88.83. It was $12.72 with shipping, which made the whole order $101.55. And while on one hand, I'm shocked that I spent $101 on 6 eyeshadows, it was also something that I thought about doing for a couple of years and just kept spending money on cheaper things, trying to kind of get the same idea. And I just wish that I could take back all those times that I tried to buy something cheaper that I didn't end up liking. And then this $101 wouldn't seem all that bad, actually, because now I get to know. And I also feel like I did such a good job with those 6 colors of picking it out that, I mean, they have hundreds of colors, but I do feel like this is going to last me quite a while. I hope that you enjoyed seeing this. I do feel like if you're on the fence about ordering them and you want to hear somebody just normal that isn't being paid, that isn't getting them for free, they're worth it. I'm really pleased and happy. And I feel, honestly, like it's going to save me money in the future because I can actually just stop buying some eyeshadow palettes now. This is what I've been looking for all along. Okay. Thank you very much for joining me. I hope that you're doing well, and thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you in another video. Leave me some comments and let me know what you think of the eyeshadows. Tell me if you thought one of them was prettier than the other. Tell me if you have these Clionadh eyeshadows or any other ones, and if you think I'm wrong because one of them you have is much prettier and I actually need to get that one too. I do remember like HILT was one of the colors that I really wanted to get from them, but they were out of it, so I didn't get it. There was one other one, I don't remember the name off the top of my head. Terrible. I've got it written down somewhere on all the notes that I was taking when I was researching it. And I would have, if they had those two, I probably would have gotten them. I maybe would have skipped to the Chandelier because I think I just threw that in because they had this whole set of them that kind of looked clear like that when you just look at them, but they all had different, you know, undertoning shifts. And I think I just wanted to see how much those undertoning shifts that they talked about actually came out in a shadow that looked clear. All right, now it is. I'm gone. Okay, bye, thanks.